And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you the story of a man who wanted to become important and the crime he committed to accomplish it. So now, starring Mr. Tony Barrett with Mr. William Conrad, here is tonight's suspense play, The Man Who Threw Acid. He was a young man serving his second year in the city assembly. And because he believed in honest government, he wanted to enact restraining legislation against the racketeers. At first, the older men, the wheels of the political machine, laughed at him, patted him on the back, gave him a cigar. They liked him because he reminded them of their lost ideals, wasted energies. And then they began to listen to him, wondering. The young assemblyman said in council,
I wasn't elected to this office to see my wife and kids or anybody else's wife and kids dictated to by the racketeers and the hoodlums in this city. That's what's happening. Dope, gambling, mugging, the protection racket started again. If the chief of police won't or can't do anything about it, I say we should. Make laws. Put teeth in them. Get rid of the big boys who run the rackets and we'll have a clean city.
It wasn't a brilliant speech, not in content or in delivery, but it made its point. And the young assemblyman kept on making his point. The older, wiser city fathers began to take notice. So did the press. And so did the big boys, the racketeers. And the man who was considered the boss called a meeting. There was no red tape involved, no orders in triplicate, a simple direct edict from the top. And the organization was such that by 7 o'clock that evening, the hireling had been contacted. His name was Steve Kleiber, a thin, pasty-faced man of 42 who looked no more than 35. He lived on the fringes of gangster society, and like so many of his kind, was still considered a punk. He was desperately trying to gain a toehold before it was too late, because a middle-aged punk is the lowest form of underworld life, a lackey. The boss's contact explained the situation about the assemblyman.
That's a snap, Steve.
Just throw acid in his face and beat him?
Yeah, that's it.
200?
For doing nothing.
You get the acid for me, huh?
Sure, Steve.
You put the finger on him?
It'll be all set.
There's nothing else to it?
I told you.
This assembly guy, he's important.
Look, you want the job. It's none of your business. How come? Just do you want to do it?
Well, I'm just thinking, if it is kind of important and you want me, maybe you put in a word for me, huh? With the boss, maybe?
Oh, now, Steve. The boss don't know anything about this. It's a private grudge.
Oh. Okay, sure. You, gonna pay me now?
Half now. The other 100 when you've done it.
Yeah. Okay.
Kleiber was told to wait until he was contacted again. Then the acid would be delivered to him with further instructions. The hired man went home to his apartment and to his girl. He was happy. He had a big job. He had been accepted by the mob. Perhaps his luck had changed. He told his girl,
$200, honey. This could be it. What I've been waiting for. Just a drop in a bucket to what I'll get in the next job.
Oh, that's swell, Stevie. What have they got you doing?
Honey, you know better than to ask. But I tell you this, it's big. Oh, I'll tell you that. Some of the wise guys are going to be saying hello to Steve Kleiber before long.
You gonna take me out for Chinese dinner for celebration?
Hey, sure I will. We'll have anything you want.
It was a night for celebration because plans had been made to throw acid in a man's face. The boss celebrated and took his wife to a movie. The contact man celebrated, got drunk, and cried about his dead mother. And Steve Kleiber went to bed with indigestion following a too-rich dinner. The assemblyman sat up late into the night writing the draft of an anti-racketeer speech to be made at Rotary the next day. A week later, Kleiber received a phone call. He was told to meet his contact in the park at 11 o'clock. He went to the designated place.
Hi, Steve. You're on time. That's good. Gonna get ahead, boy.
I don't like being late.
Now, here's the stuff in this bag. It's in a pint jar with a wide mouth. That way you won't have as much chance missing. Oh, you better wear a glove, too. You don't want to get burned. There's a glove in the bag. You right-handed?
Lefty.
So wear it on the left hand. It won't matter.
When do I do it?
5:30.
Today?
Yeah.
Where?
You'll be coming out of the athletic club. He's got a 6 o'clock appointment. He'll leave the club about 5:30.
How am I going to know him?
Pictures, here. Take a look at him.
Yeah.
Now, he looks like these pictures, so you won't have to worry. You can't miss him.
Yeah. Can I keep these?
Yeah.
What do I do after it's all this stuff?
Ditch the bottle. Break it. And don't touch it without you wearing a glove. No prints on it.
Okay. Then what?
Take off.
Think gonna have a car to pick me up?
It's too risky. Cars can be traced. Someone sees the license. You shouldn't have any trouble, though. It's a quiet street. Buildings near... Well, you know where it is, in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right off the main drag. Just get lost in the crowd and don't run. By the time anyone figures out what happened, well, you ought to be home.
Hey, seems to me I'm taking some chance for a lousy 200.
Give me back what I gave you. I'll get somebody else.
No, wait. It's okay. But I sure hope you guys appreciate the risk I'm taking.
We appreciate it. Oh, and Steve.
Yeah.
If anything should go wrong, like say you do get picked up, you don't talk. No names. Not even mine.
Oh, nobody gets me to talk.
That's my boy. No, I'll be seeing you. You come round to the bar for your dough. When it's finished, and I'll leave it there for you.
He had 6 hours to kill before doing the job. Standing outside the entrance to the park, he was undecided. 6 hours. And he moved casually to the bus stop and correctly, obediently took his place in line behind 3 other passengers as the bus pulled in. A very ordinary man, carrying a paper sack in which was a jar of acid and a glove. He went to a favorite hangout, a bar at the east end of town, not because he needed a drink. He wasn't nervous, but rather because he hoped to run into some of the boys. Well, he wouldn't tell them anything, but he'd let them understand that he was onto something big.
Hey, what do you say, Harry?
Steve.
And the boys been in, huh?
Early. What's it gonna be? You want a beer?
Nothing like that. Something fancy. I'm celebrating, boy. Give me something fancy, huh?
What do you want?
Oh, I don't know. Something with bourbon, huh? Good bourbon.
Soda, water?
Old-fashioned, huh? With everything in it. Make an old-fashioned. Make one for yourself, Harry. And me.
Too early.
Come on, help me celebrate.
I never celebrate till after 5.
Well, at 5, I'm going to be tied up. I'm sorry. At 5, I got an appointment. Big appointment.
Uh-huh. How are you, Harry? Morning, Lou. How's everything? Couldn't be better. Fine.
What do you say, Lou?
Oh, Steve.
What have you been keeping yourself, huh?
Go on. Hey, Harry, break a quarter for me. I gotta make a phone call. Yeah, sure.
How about joining me, Lou? Old-fashioned.
Why not?
That's a good drink. Say, Lou, you got any good tips?
Here's your change, Lou. Oh, thanks.
Lou?
What?
I said anything good running a day. Thought I'd put 50 across the board. If you got...
Where'd you get $50, punk?
You know, it's funny the way you guys call me. That's really funny.
Old-fashioned, 65 cents.
Huh? Oh, sure. Thanks, Harry. Hope you can change your 20. It's the smallest I got. Yeah, Lou, that's what it is. And you guys call me punk. It's pretty funny. You got a little surprise coming to you, boy.
Yeah? Well, I'll live. Thanks, Harry. It's okay.
Forget the tip, Lou. Just thought I'd do you a favor, give you a fin if the horse come through, but from now on I do my business uptown direct.
Hey, you do that.
Nerve of that guy, you hear him? Small time, and he's calling me... Oh, it's good old-fashioned, Harry. That's the best. You sure know how to make them, all right.
Uh-huh. The drink was too sweet. He didn't like it, but it was gulped down. He wanted to show them the bottle of acid. Tell them. That would make them know he wasn't a punk anymore. Instead, he pocketed his change and sauntered out. There was little better than 5 hours to kill, so he went to a movie. It was a triple feature, and when he came out, blinking in the strong sunlight, the time was 4 o'clock. Holding the paper sack carefully, he took a bus uptown and noted that traffic was getting heavy. At 4:30, he walked past the athletic club and into a drugstore across the street. Sitting at the counter, he leafed through a detective magazine and drank 2 large Cokes. The assemblyman had played handball, taken a shower, and by 5 o'clock was dressed and on his way out. His companion suggested a cocktail, but because of his appointment at 6, he begged off.
Wish I could, but it'll take me an hour to get out there. I'll take a rain check for next week. So long. Say hello to the wife and kid.
Steve Kleiber was waiting outside the drugstore when the assemblyman emerged from the athletic club. He recognized the man immediately and crossed the street. By the time the assemblyman reached his car and was unlocking the door, Kleiber was behind him, the jar held firmly in his gloved hand. There was no one else in sight.
Hey, mister.
Yes?
Here's something for you.
Steve Kleiber didn't see the assemblyman clawing at his face. He dashed the jar to the street and ran to the corner, and a moment was lost among the 5 o'clock homecoming crowds. He felt pride in the smoothness of his accomplishment. His nerve had held up. He'd proved himself as a man to be trusted. Any punk could do a good job with a gun, but he had performed a task few men could have done better. Cold, sure, perfect timing. He went home to his girl, and as he relived the moment in telling, he felt himself become flushed, hot with excitement.
So I figured it out, see? Just like a shotgun. You know how when you shoot a shotgun, the lead spreads out? So I figured the same with the acid. Get close enough, just close enough so it won't spread. I was 3 feet. 3 feet. That's when I said, hey, mister. And he turned around. Boy, he could have put me on the Olympics the way I took off. You should have seen me
I'm
go.
glad I didn't.
Huh? Well, honey, I'm just telling you
That's an awful thing doing a thing like that.
I don't get you. It's a job, that's all.
How come you didn't tell me that's what you were going to do?
Why should I tell you? It's none of your business. I tell you now because I thought you'd be interested.
I'm not.
Well, that's a fine thing.
I'm hungry. Let's go eat.
No. Figured a couple of days lay low, just to be sure, you know. Now, look, you go on down to Delicatessen and get some stuff. Then later you can go down to Harry's and pick up $100 for me. He'll be there.
By 7 o'clock, the extras were on the street. By 10 that night, the entire city knew what had happened. And the man who had ordered it to happen, the boss, was at home smoking a cigar, reading. His wife came in and said,
I just heard the news on the radio.
What news?
Some man threw acid in somebody's face. He's a representative or a senator or something in the city.
No kidding.
Gee, that's terrible. Awful. Boy, I hope they get him. The man that did it.
Yeah.
And a phone call came into the boss on his private line. He listened for a long time. His cigar went out. He looked puzzled.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh. Well, it's like I said. He ain't dead, but it might be better if he was. The cops are really out tonight.
Who did the job?
Oh, some punk. Steve Kleiber?
Does he know anything?
Yeah, I don't think so. I had a good boy give him the word.
Then we're in the clear. Don't worry, in a couple of days it'll quiet down.
But the boss was disturbed. His wife's reaction disturbed him. The phone call, what he had heard himself on the newscast disturbed him. The violent act had all the earmarks of a boomerang. Rather than instilling fear, the purpose for which the deed was done, it had brought out swift and great anger. Kleiber was worried, too. His girl had gone to the bar and returned empty-handed. The second $100 installment of his payment was not there. His contact had not been seen that day. The next morning, a reward of $5,000 was posted for the apprehension of the man who threw acid. And by afternoon, the prize money had risen to $12,000. Kleiber read the newspapers that night and was frightened.
Listen, honey, I better get out of here. Some of these rats get an idea to turn me in for that kind of dough. I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Maybe you better.
Look, honey, you go down to Harry's again, huh? I need that $100. I'll have to get out of town for a while.
Well, what's the use? He ain't gonna be there. They made you a sucker.
After what I've done for him, you crazy, a nice clean job. Now, listen, I'm gonna hide out. I know a place. It's in town here. Till you get the dough for me, huh?
How can I get it?
Well, try, will you? There's a flop house. I'll write you down the address. If I'm not there, I'll be in the Grand Theater. You know where it is.
I know.
Okay. If anybody asks you see me, you say, no, I left town, all right?
Okay. Hey, what about me? What'll I do for money?
Honey, I gave you $10 yesterday.
Well, it might take a couple of days to get your 100.
Yeah. All right, here. There's 20. I can't give you more.
All right.
Now, look, you won't let me down, kid. You'll find him. You'll give me the dough.
What do you want me to do? Write it in blood?
All right. Thanks, honey. I'll make it up to you.
I'll bet.
I'll see you.
What a dirty little punk.
At first, only a handful of people knew who had done the job. The boss, a half a dozen of his associates, the contact man, and Kleiber's girl. And then the bookmaker, Lou, remembered the incident with Kleiber in Harry's bar.
Howie?
Yeah, another the same.
A minute. Hey, you seen Steve Kleiber around the last couple of days?
No.
I was just wondering.
Oh?
Remember the day he was in 2-3 days back, day the guy got a face full of acid? Remember him talking big, flashing a 20?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'll tell you, his girl's been a few times looking for an envelope he's supposed to get. She's been asking for someone, if that means anything.
Yeah. You know what the reward is?
Last I heard, 12,000.
20. It's a big stink. I wouldn't want to be in that guy's shoes. If Steve did it. Oh, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
Me either.
The police had no leads, but they had an aroused city on their side. They weren't working alone. Every citizen was a potential ally, every news agency a powerful voice. The reward mounted. In a week, it had reached $40,000. The money was offered by the city, by indignant groups and individuals. Kleiber was no longer a punk. He was a dangerous animal, a big man. And he waited in dark places, waited for his girl to bring him $100 so that he could run further to get away. The police, the district attorney's office began asking questions, lots of questions. And they started with the boss. They weren't playing games now.
Why do you keep after me? I don't know anything about it. Some nut probably who doesn't like a no-smoking law or something. Why don't you guys lay off me?
But they didn't lay off him, and he knew something had to be done quickly. He called his associates together.
His city is not healthy with Kleiber running around loose. I get the feeling we better get to him before the cops do. He might know something. If he starts talking, we're all in trouble.
Shouldn't be hard. Must be a dozen guys on the look for him right now. $40,000 ain't hay.
I don't want him turned in. I want him killed.
Yeah. Well, we'll get on it right away.
It took 3 hours, and the word was out. To every petty racketeer, hoodlum, gunman, the word was find Kleiber. If you turn him into the cops, we'll get you. Just find him and pass the word to the right man. You'll get paid off. The boss wanted him dead, not alive. Kleiber hadn't heard from his girl for 2 days. In desperation, he took a chance and telephoned Harry's bar, asked for the contact man. Harry said.
That's you, Steve?
Yeah, Harry, yeah, it's me. Is he there?
Where are you?
Never mind, is he there?
Wait a minute. Ella?
This is Steve. Listen, I want that money. I've got to have it. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, now, don't get excited, kid. We had a little trouble. I had to lay low. I'm sorry about it. Where are you, Steve? I'll get it to you right away.
Never mind where I am. You give it to...
Your girl? Well, Steve, I would, except haven't you heard? She left town yesterday. She's gone off the coast. Now, Steve, why don't you tell me where you are, and I'll get...
He was afraid. More afraid than he'd ever been in his life. He'd read the papers, knew the whole city was after him. And now he knew from the sound of that voice, they were after him, too. There was nobody to trust now. His girl, everything gone. And even in his fear, he still didn't quite understand why it was happening. He'd done the job he'd been told to do, done it well. And they'd all double-crossed him. The big boys. He didn't understand. One thing he did know now, however, he was valuable. He was worth money. But was it his life that was valuable? Or perhaps they'd find him, kill him, and then turn him in. The rewards didn't say anything about being alive. As he left the cigar store, he didn't see the proprietor pick up the telephone.
Hello? This is Shackley on the corner of 5th. I thought you'd like to know Steve Kleiber was just in here, making a phone call. Yeah, he just went out, walking east. I'm in trouble. I'm in bad trouble. Punks, a lot of them double-crossed. I'm in trouble and scared. Boy, I shouldn't be out like this. I gotta find someplace to hide out. Where? They'll get me. They'll be looking. They'll get me.
And he felt safer walking because every place, any place that he might want to go, a shelter, was now a trap. He saw the police station at exactly the same moment he saw the black car around the corner, and a sixth sense told him what was about to happen. He started to run toward the police station.
You cop! You give me protection! I'm the guy through the acid! I'm the guy!
Suspense, in which Mr. Tony Barrett and Mr. William Conrad starred in tonight's presentation of The Man Who Threw Acid. Be sure to join us next Wednesday when we again bring you another presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed in Hollywood by Anthony Ellis.
And now, a public service message from CBS Radio. Remember that phrase, one of our aircraft is missing? Another time around, it might be, one of our cities is missing. Radar can spot enemy aircraft before they reach our cities, but there are gaps which only your eyes can fill. CBS Radio suggests write or telephone your nearest Civil Defense Center, or write to Ground Observer Corps, Air Force, Washington, D.C., to learn how you can serve in our Ground Observer Corps. Stay tuned now for 5 minutes of CBS News, to be followed on most of these same stations by My Son Jeep. You hear America's favorite shows on the CBS Radio Network.
Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, a master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robeson.
We try to avoid cliches and platitudes on Suspense. For instance, you will never hear a victim say to a criminal, "You can't get away with it." Or hardly ever. Yet the bad guys hardly ever do get away with it, even when they plan their crimes brilliantly and set their getaways with the most meticulous detail. If the law doesn't catch up to them, more often than not, they catch up with themselves. As Joseph Dunlop, alias Andrew Burt, does in A Good Neighbor, a strange story of retribution starring Mr. Jeff Chandler.
And now, Mr. Jeff Chandler in A Good Neighbor, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I am a thief. I have stolen $150,000 in diamonds from my employer's firm. Last night I left New York in a second-hand car, the jewelry in a steel box locked in the trunk. The theft will be discovered this morning. In a few minutes, I'll reach the place where I'll hide on this deserted Maine coast. Then I will take the cut stones out of the settings and put them with the other unmounted stones, and in a few days I'll leave for Mexico. There I will sell the stones to an agent I have contacted, and then I will go on to South America. My name now is Andrew Burt. I have identification cards and a passport to prove it. They were very expensive, but I will be very rich. And the police will be looking for a man named Joseph Dunlop who has vanished from New York. It'll be dawn soon. And as the narrow back road winds closer to the sea, I can feel the wind rising against the car. The fog is moving in and the headlights bounce back from it. But I can't slow down. I have to reach my hideout before dawn. And suddenly I saw an old woman standing in the middle of the road waving a flashlight. I'm almost to the house, almost safe, and now this. What is it? What's wrong?
Oh, I'm so sorry. But have you run into a tree branch or anything along the road?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, good. Then it must be farther along. Do you mind?
Before I could answer, the woman yanked open the door and popped in beside me.
Could be quite dangerous, you know.
Well,
something like that lying on the road. You drive very slowly. I'm sure we'll come to it.
She was a short, skinny little woman. She wore a heavy coat and a thick scarf tied around her head.
I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Mrs. Poe. I live just over that rise. Oh, well, you can't see it in this fog.
What's all this about a tree branch?
I can't hear you very well. Just a moment and I'll take off my scarf. Always wear it when it's windy. There, now. What did you say?
What about a tree branch?
I'm not so sure it is a tree branch. It's just something large and solid. If a car ran into it, there could be an accident. You drive slowly now. We'll find it.
Well, how do you know it's there if you don't know where it is? I don't think
I must explain. I saw this big thing lying in the road, and I got out of bed and came out to find it. Now, when we move it off the road, I'll go right on back to bed. It's much too early to be up.
When did you see it?
This time I was sound asleep. I woke with a start, and I saw it right before my eyes. Second sight, young man. I have second sight. I see things before they happen. Look!
I could see it through the fog. A large, gnarled tree branch lying across the road. Second sight. I didn't believe her, and yet there it was.
Oh, I am, right? I am. Oh, that's very gratifying. Can you manage it? Drag it off to the ditch. Will my light help?
She turned on a big square flashlight and aimed it at the trees along the road.
See up there? A fresh break on that big elm. Oh, how exciting.
Looking at this strange little woman, I wanted to get back in the car and get away from her and from the wind and fog, but I couldn't. The tree branch was blocking the road. How did she know about it? She could be a local character making a fool out of me, but why on this back road before dawn? I got hold of one end of the limb and dragged it into the ditch.
Now, couldn't a thing like that wreck a car?
Oh, yes, it could.
I'm so glad you came along. I couldn't have managed it alone.
No, I don't suppose you could.
Odd that you should come along. I wondered who it would be. Everything's planned for us, you know. There's no coincidence. Are you driving far? I noticed all those groceries in the back seat of your car.
I could tell her I was going north, but my house was too near, and she was old. She couldn't have walked far. She must live near my house. I had to tell her the truth. I'm just driving on to my house. It's near here.
Where?
Well, I've got a map in the glove compartment. I'm not sure just where.
It's your house, and you don't know where it is.
It was left to me 2 years ago. It's been rented until recently.
This side of the village, there are only 2 houses. Mine and that old place on the cliff.
Well, that must be my house.
Such a lonely place for a young man to want to live. I knew it was vacant, though. Watched those renters move out last week. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't sorry to see them go. They weren't very friendly folks.
Oh, that's too bad. Mrs. Poe, is it?
Poe. P-O-E. Who are you?
My name's Andrew Burt.
Oh.
Was anything wrong, Mrs. Poe?
Oh, no. Just that I have feelings about people, Mr. Burt. And you... Oh, I mustn't keep you any longer. Your road is just round the bend, and there's a footpath behind us. I go that way. We're neighbors, you and I.
I watched Mrs. Poe start down the road, tying her heavy scarf around her head. Then she was gone, swallowed up by the fog. Around the next bend, I saw the turnoff to my house. My driveway was a narrow, rutted road that wound up a sharp grade to a bluff above. As I drove over the top of the hill, I felt the cold wind from the sea rush against the car. It almost seemed to be pushing, trying to hold me back. The fog was thicker here, and I couldn't see the house. My house. I had visited my great-uncle here once, many years ago, but no one knew about it now. No one except the lawyer in Boston who had traced me. He had died a year ago. Suddenly, the fog thinned, and I saw my house. It stood square and bleak on the rocky land, 100 yards ahead. A gray, lonely house, weather-beaten and neglected. There were no trees, nothing to break the emptiness of the land. I put my car in the garage and went into the house. Inside, it was plain, almost bare, but clean and weather-tight against the wind. The wind. Did it ever stop? The wind and the fog. I'd be glad when I was finished and could leave this place. There was a note from the tenants telling me the telephone was connected and that my number was ring 2. They added the name of a man to call for ice and coal, but there was cordwood outside and I had food to last a week. I wouldn't have to call anyone, and it was a cinch no one would call me. I won't answer it. No one knows I'm here. Mrs. Poe. Hello?
Mr. Burt? Mr. Burt?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm home, and so are you. That's nice. Are you comfortable?
Very, thank you.
Well, if you're sure. Now, if anything goes wrong, if you need anyone, you just call me.
I won't need anything, Mrs. Poe.
I hope so, Mr. Burt. But I have a feeling about that house. Well, you're not alone, Mr. Burt. You have a neighbor.
A neighbor. A meddling, eccentric old woman. I had to be careful, not give her anything to gossip about in the village. Mrs. Poe could be a very dangerous nuisance. Well, I won't let her be. I'm a thief, but if necessary, I'm capable of murder. I'm not going to let anyone stop me now. This project's been too successful to be loused up by an old biddy with second sight. I went back to the car and carried the cartons of food into the house. Then I opened the trunk and took out the box. It was quite ordinary looking, the kind of steel box you buy for storing important papers. I locked the garage doors and went into the house, put the box on the kitchen table, and opened it. Diamonds. They caught the light and reflected it 100 times, shining and glinting in that cold, empty room. After 2 years of waiting and planning, I had them. I was rich and free. Free of my dull, respectable job and my dull, respectable employer. Quiet, cautious Mr. Radcliffe. What would he do without me? What would he do without his diamonds? All he could do was tell the police and insurance people about Joseph Dunlop, a man they would never find. I even felt a little sorry for Mr. Radcliffe. He had trusted me so much. And now, well, he had his insurance. He could buy more diamonds. I spent some time getting the place settled. In case anyone should come to the house, it would look like I was planning to stay. Once I went outside to look over my property. The wind was getting stronger, blowing the fog into the dawn, and the smell of the ocean was clean and fresh. I could see Mrs. Poe's house a few hundred yards away on lower ground. She was standing on the porch of her house, and she waved to me. I didn't wave back. I went inside and had some breakfast, then slept for a few hours. At last, I started to work. The unset stones I put in a soft leather bag in my pocket, and then I started breaking up the set pieces. I cut the links off the jewelry and gently pried the stones from their settings. Then I hammered the metal out of shape. I worked slowly, carefully, keeping the bits of gold and platinum in a neat pile on the table and laying the diamonds out in a row. Oh, they were magnificent stones. I had chosen well. It was beginning to get dark when I finished. I looked at my watch, almost 5 o'clock. But one more part of my plan was completed. I gathered up the diamonds and put them in the leather bag with the uncut stones. Then I scraped up the bits of metal and put them in the steel box with my jewelry tools. Now I had to get rid of the box. That woman, that prying old woman. Hello.
Mr. Bird? Mr. Bird?
Yes.
This is your neighbor. This is Mrs. Poe.
Well, what is it, Mrs. Poe?
I'm coming over, Mr. Bird, for a little visit.
No. Well, that is, not now, Mrs. Poe. I was just going to rest for a while. I'm very tired.
Oh, of course. You drove all last night, didn't you? You must have been in a hurry. Is everything all right?
Yes, everything is all right.
Evil comes to him who evil thinketh. I always try to remember that. Goodbye, Mr. Bird.
In a moment, we continue with Suspense. And now, we continue with A Good Neighbor, starring Mr. Jeff Chandler. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
That hateful, meddling Mrs. Poe. No, I can't let her upset me. She doesn't know anything. She's harmless. I must go on with my plan. I had to hide the steel box where it would never be found. Someplace. The sea. I'll throw it into the sea. I put on my coat, picked up the box, and went outside. I looked over toward Mrs. Poe's house. Was she watching me, staring out from the darkened windows? If she wants to know, I'll tell her. I'll tell her I decided to go for a walk to make me sleepier. I started across the barren, rutted yard. Then I turned off toward the protection of a shallow draw on the far side of the house. I could follow the draw to the cliff hidden from Miss Poe. It was hard walking across the fields. The wild grass whipped against my legs and tangled my feet. The cold wind rushed against me, making every step more and more difficult, until at last I reached the edge of the cliff and looked down at the sea more than 100 feet below. No, it wouldn't work. Below me were huge rocks, boulders piled high against the foot of the cliff and stretching out to sea. I couldn't drop the box here. It would land on the rocks to be found and reported. I had to hide it somewhere else. But where? I had no tools to bury it. It wouldn't burn. If I hid it in the house, Mrs. Poe or some other busybody might find it after I'd gone. I turned and looked behind me. I could see the top of my house in the distance and the smoke from Mrs. Poe's chimney. Again, I looked down at the rocks below me, and then the earth under my foot gave way. I slipped forward, struggling to throw myself back. I fell, sliding toward the edge. I clutched, tore at the grass. I grabbed a rock half buried in the ground and just hung there. I was half over the edge of the cliff, lying on my face, clinging desperately to the rock. Then I inched my way forward, away from the edge, crawling carefully forward until I was back on firm ground. I lay there shaking, my face buried in the grass. And slowly I got to my feet. The box. I dropped it. I got down on my hands and knees and crawled toward the edge again. And I saw the box. It was lying in the grass close to where I'd fallen. I reached out and grabbed it, dragged it back to me. I got to my feet and stumbled away toward my house. As I made my way back along the draw, I tried desperately to think of a place to hide the box, hide it where it could never be found. I wanted nothing to connect this house with the man I had been in New York. Then I saw the well. It was off beyond the drawer. I pushed through the grass that was almost waist high, laid aside the steel box, and dropped to my knees beside the well. The top of it was almost even with the ground and covered with wide wooden boards. The few stones that had once been around the top had fallen away. I lifted one of the boards from the top and threw it aside. Then another, and another, and finally the last flat, heavy board was off. The well was about 5 feet across the top, lined with damp, slippery stones. I picked up a rock and held it over the top of the well and dropped it. The well was old, abandoned, and the water at the bottom was deep. A perfect place for the box. For a moment, I knelt there staring at the damp rocks, wondering who had put them there, how long ago. What had Mrs. Poe said? Everything has been planned for us, and the well was here for me to find. I turned and reached for the box.
Hello!
Huh?
Hello!
Mrs. Poe. But where? I can't see her. I got to my feet and stumbled away from the well. I couldn't let her find me here.
Hello, Mr. Bird!
I got to the drawer and started running back to the house, and suddenly I saw Mrs. Poe coming toward me.
Oh, Mr. Bird! Oh, I'm so glad! Are you all right?
Yes.
You seem quite out of breath, and I can't hear you in this wind.
Mrs. Poe took off her scarf, and we started back to the house. I heard you calling. I thought something was wrong.
You shouldn't be out, Mr. Bird. It's almost dark.
I went for a walk to the cliff to make me sleepy.
Oh, Mr. Bird. Oh, I knew there was a danger. I tried to telephone you, and when you didn't answer, I was worried. That cliff isn't safe. I should have warned you. It's always falling away. Mr. Bird, you're covered with dirt. You fell.
I fell, Mrs. Poe.
The air's full of danger, full of implications.
If you'll excuse me, Mrs. Poe, I'm going inside now.
Of course, you vanished sharp.
Good evening, Mrs. Poe.
May I please come in just for a moment? I must talk with you, Mr. Bird.
Mrs. Poe, I realize you feel alarmed.
No, something else. Just for a moment, and it's so important.
I went across the porch and held the door open for her. She went into the hall. Suddenly, she stopped and turned to me.
This house. Something. Mr. Bird, I want you to get out of this house. Go to the village or come to my place. But leave here. Forces are at work, Mr. Bird. It's not safe.
I understand your belief in premonitions, Mrs. Poe, but I don't agree with you.
You must, and there's a storm coming. Leave before the storm, Mr. Bird.
Why do you want me out of this house, Mrs. Poe? What is it you want here?
Oh, if I could only see the danger. Oh, I've tried, but I can't see it. Wrong. The vibrations are all wrong today. Get out, Mr. Bird. You'll have no other chance.
I watched her from the window as she started towards her house, leaning against the wind, tying that heavy woolen scarf tight under her chin. Had she seen me at the well? Or had she seen me leave and then come over and searched my house? Mrs. Poe was interfering with my plans. Why? She couldn't know about the jewelry. She knew about the tree limb and the road. What was she after, hounding me, watching every move I made? Whatever her game is, she won't interfere with my plans. I can put a stop to Mrs. Poe as soon as I've gone back to the well and disposed of the box. I'd left it behind at the well. What if she finds it? No, not on a night like this. Her rude home is nowhere near the well, and with a storm coming, she won't be out again in this weather. I should go back now. Wind, it never stops, and it's pitch dark outside. I can wait until morning. I fixed some dinner and ate quickly. After dinner, I lighted the living room fire and sat listening to the storm outside. I touched the pocket of my jacket, felt the leather bag full of the diamonds I'd stolen. I was warm and safe in my house. The storm grew wilder and wilder. The rain struck the house heavily, hammered against the windows and walls. I built up the fire and sat close to it. Somewhere a screen door slammed back and forth in the wind. But I wouldn't leave the bright, warm fire to fix it. Oh, Mrs. Poe, I won't answer. Let her think the lines are down. No, she'd ask the operator, and the operator would know the lines are working. Why won't she leave me alone? Yes, Mrs. Poe.
Mr. Bird, I'm almost frantic. I'm coming over there.
No.
I'll be quite all right. I have my flashlight.
What do you want, Mrs. Poe? What are you after, spying on me?
Your field. I saw your field.
Huh?
It came to me at last. Something is wrong. Someone is lost in the field.
Stay away from here. Do you hear me?
I'm leaving at once. Don't worry. I have my flashlight. Someone needs my help.
I'll stop. She won't go into the field. The box is there, and I can't let her find it. She must know. She must realize it's there. She watched me this afternoon, and this is her ghastly way of telling me she knows. I'll stop. That heavy scarf she always wears, always knotted tightly under her chin. They'll think when they find her that poor old Mrs. Poe had fallen in the dark and her own scarf choked her to death. Oh, no, Mrs. Poe, you won't spoil my plans. I went outside and started across the yard. In the distance, I could see the beam of Mrs. Poe's flashlight. She must be running. Along a path I hadn't seen, a path that cut me off from the place where I'd left the box. I ran, too. Stumbling and sliding, I ran to the drawer and started along it toward the box. The rain and wind were driving into my face, almost blinding me. But I had to find the box. I had to. I didn't want to kill Mrs. Poe. If I could get there before she did. I was almost there. I could see the beam of Mrs. Poe's flashlight growing larger, coming at me. I turned away from the light, dashed forward into the tall wild grass. I remembered just where the box was hidden, off to the left of the boards I had lifted off the well! I tripped, I fell! I'm falling into the well! I clutched at the wet stones. At last, I broke my fall. I dared not move. My fingers held desperately to the wet, slippery stones. My legs were doubled behind me, pressed against the far side of the well as though I were kneeling in midair. Then I heard a splash. I knew it was the bag of diamonds that had dropped from my jacket pocket. It didn't matter now. All that mattered now was getting out of the well. Surely Mrs. Poe would find me soon. Soon, before my fingers lost their grip. Where was she? I moved my head carefully, slowly, looked over my shoulder at the top of the well. It was about 5 feet above me. Mrs. Poe will see me. She'll hear me if I yell. Wait until the flashlight shines up there, until she's close enough to hear. There it is. I see her light. She's coming toward the well. The light's going brighter. A few more feet. Stopping. What is she waiting for? Hurry, I'm slipping. The light's moving away. I know. She set the flashlight on the ground. Yes, I see her shadow across the beam. She's coming toward the edge now. Mrs. Poe! Mrs. Poe! My hands are slipping. I can't hold on to the rocks. Mrs. Poe! Why doesn't she hear? What? The light. There's something moving across the light. There's something at the edge of the well. A board. She's found the board. She's covering the well. No! Mrs. Poe! Oh, why can't she hear me? Scarf. That scarf around her head, around her ears, shutting out the wind. She can't hear. She'll never hear me. And my hands are slipping. Please hear me. Mrs. Poe! Mrs. Poe!
There. Oh, I just knew there was danger out here tonight. That nice Mr. Burt. Why, he might have tripped over those boards and had a nasty fall.
Suspense, in which Mr. Jeff Chandler starred in William N. Robeson's production of A Good Neighbor, a first radio play by David Reel. Mr. Chandler was supported by Virginia Gregg as Mrs. Poe. Listen. Listen again next week when we return with another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, the master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robeson.
Did you know that the Stanley Steamer is the fastest automobile ever made? It is. Theoretically, at least. Nobody ever determined its top speed because it had a tendency to blow up first. All of which is by way of background for the upcoming story of Suspense. Listen. Listen, then, as Mr. John McIntyre stars in The Big Day, which begins 1 minute from now.
I have never read a collection of American folklore which had a section devoted solely to the downtrodden commuter, but there should be. There are legends galore about the miseries of these poor folk. For example, there was this train in Idaho that was a mite slow. Once an impatient passenger asked the conductor why the train had stopped. "There's a cow on the track," he said. "We have to chase her away." A little later, when the train stopped again, the passenger roared, "Now what's wrong?" "Oh," said the conductor serenely, "we just caught up with that cow again." Folklore belongs to every nation's legendary past, and I guess we Americans have our share of some good ones. Like the one about... but we'll have to save that one for the next time we travel your way. See you then.
And now, Mr. John McIntyre in The Big Day, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
What's the say on the gauge, Albert?
Looks like about 4 pounds, Sam, maybe 4.5.
Not enough. She won't run on 4.5 pounds of steam pressure, that's for sure.
Can't see what difference it would make if she did run, Sam. You wouldn't take her anywhere. Just sit here in the garage like you've been doing every day since I can remember and steam her up and not go anywhere. Now, how come you just steam her up and don't go anywhere in her, Sam?
Because the right time hasn't come along yet, that's why, Albert.
You put new wheels on her and new racing tires, and you made me paint that crazy number 61 on the side, but you never take her out.
Albert, I'm getting tired of you sitting there asking me why I never do this and why I never do that. Now, I'm going to tell you once more what I've been telling you over and over. I put the new wheels and tires on her because I'll need them when the right time gets here. And it's coming, Albert. It's coming sooner than you think.
You're going to ride her up to heaven on Judgment Day, Sam? You're going to steam her up and drive your bright red Stanley up into the sky? Is that what you're going to do, Sam?
That's very funny, Albert, very funny. No, I'm not going to drive her up to heaven on Judgment Day. I'm going to drive her where she belongs, out in the open. Out on the road where she can get up a full head of steam and show everybody what she can really do.
Gonna show up all them modern cars, eh, Sam?
Albert, I know I'm wasting my time talking to you, just like I waste my time talking to that son of mine. But 50 years ago, in 1907, a Stanley steamer was wrecked going 190 miles an hour.
Oh, now, come off it, Sam.
It's in the book, 190 miles an hour, and she would have done better if she hadn't come apart.
I'll bet the fellow that was driving her came apart, too.
Well, it wasn't the car's fault. The fellow that was driving her just didn't know how to handle steam.
But you do.
I do. When the day gets here, I'll show you. You and Ma and that son of mine and everyone else who think gasoline is the only kind of fuel for a car. The only reason the steamer isn't on the streets now is because the big oil companies bought them out to keep the steamer off the streets. But it'll be different when I take this one out.
Oh, sure.
And the time is sooner than you think, Albert. A lot sooner than you think. Now get up there and pump, Albert. Let's get a real head of steam on her and see what she sounds like.
In just a moment, it'll be time for the 5:30 news. But first, here's a word from our sponsor. Friends, how long has it been since you felt good?
Junior?
Really good,
Junior?
Yes, Mom?
Where's Pop? The news is coming on, and he wants to hear the qualifying times from the racetrack.
I'll call him. I think he and Mr. Fellows are out in the garage.
Well, tell him the news is on. He'll be mad if he misses it.
Well, there he is, Mom, coming in the back door.
News on yet?
Yeah, I was just going to call you.
They get to the speed trials at Indianapolis yet?
No, they haven't finished the important news yet.
Important? What's more important, I'd like to know, than the names and times of the drivers who qualified for the Indianapolis 500 this week?
Well, why in the world are you so interested in the races this year, Sam?
I've always been interested in the Memorial Day race, and you know it.
But why the interest in the times and what kind of cars they're driving and all that? You always listen to the race on race day, but this year you act like you're driving in it yourself.
In a steamer, maybe.
And what's so funny about that? She could take any one of those gasoline engine cars, make them look like they were standing still.
Aw, come on, Pop. That Stanley of yours was made in 1917. Just because you put a lot of new stuff on her, like racing tires and modern wheels, well, putting her on a track with a modern race car would be like putting a workhorse against Iron Leeds at the Derby.
Son, let me ask you something.
Sure.
How old are you?
17.
And how long have you been driving a car?
3 years.
Legally?
Almost a year.
All right. Now, I've been driving cars almost as long as they've had them, and I happen to know a little more about the Stanley steamer than you do.
And I know a little more about gas engines than you do.
Son, don't you talk back to your father.
Well, I'm not talking back to him, Mom. I just said that.
Your mom heard what you said, son, and I can tell you this. If I could get that steamer of mine out where it could get a good start, I could whip any one of those fancy streamline jobs they got back at Indianapolis.
Oh, boy.
Sam.
I could whip any one of them, and I could make them eat my steam.
Sam, sometimes I wonder where your mind is.
Yeah.
Now, stop arguing about something that's impossible and listen to the news while I get dinner on.
It's not impossible, and one of these days I'll show you it's not impossible.
Big deal.
Maybe that day is sooner than you think. What do you say to that?
Well, I say you either sit down and listen to the news or go in and clean up for supper. That's what I say.
And I say the Stanley steamer's the fastest thing on wheels. That's what I say.
Anybody want to know what I say?
No.
That's what I thought you'd say.
Bring the extension cord around the front of her, Albert. Hang it over on the nail.
I'm trying to get it over the hood, Sam.
But don't drag it across her. You want to scratch up the paint?
I don't want to do anything but go home, Sam. Millie's going to give me a bad time if I don't get home early.
She thinks you're down at the church again tonight?
Well, I told her I was painting the white lines on the basketball court. Trouble is, I told her I was doing that last night, too.
Well, tell her it's a big court. Hold that light over here so as we can get a look at these maps.
Yeah, you sure got enough of them.
Yeah, got them down at the auto club. Real nice about giving them to me, too. Didn't even ask me what I wanted them for.
Well, what do you want them for, Sam?
What do I want them for? I want them to lay out a course.
A course of what?
Albert, when you lay out a course, it isn't a course of something. It's a course to somewhere.
Oh, where?
Well, that's what we're going to figure out tonight. Hold the light over this way a bit. Let's take a look at this map here. California, San Diego to San Francisco. That's the one we want.
Well, this is Los Angeles, Sam.
I know that. Well, let's see. Highway 101 runs from here to San Diego.
Too many little towns. Not far enough, anyway.
Millie has an aunt lives down in San Diego.
Highway
She's
99. If you went straight up 99 towards Sacramento, you'd bypass Saugus, Newhall, and you don't hit anything really big until Bakersfield.
I had a friend once lived in Bakersfield.
And out of Bakersfield, there's Wasco, Delano, Tulare, Fresno. And the road runs straight and level. Hand me that ruler there, will you, Elmer?
Yeah. Here it is.
Now, let's see. Scale says 21 miles to the inch. Fresno's about 10 inches from Los Angeles. That's 210 miles. We've got a long ways to go yet.
Sam, I don't know what you're going to do with that map, but I got to go home. If Millie finds out I've been spending my evenings over here in your garage fooling around with this steamer of yours, she'll skin me alive.
Albert, let me tell you something. You got nothing to worry about.
Oh, I got nothing to worry about with Millie?
You got nothing to worry about with Millie when she finds out why you've been spending your evenings over here.
When she finds out?
When she finds out why you've been helping me with the steamer, she'll be so impressed she won't do anything but applaud.
Sam, I gotta go home.
All right, Albert, you go on home. You go home and get a good night's sleep, and tomorrow morning I'll let you in on a little surprise.
Sam, you've forgotten that tomorrow's Memorial Day or the race is on.
I know the race is on, Albert. I know that you and I always listen to the Indianapolis race on the radio, and tomorrow we listen to the start just like we always have. Only it'll be different.
Different?
That's right, Albert, different. That's the surprise I'm talking about. Now, you be here at 8:30 sharp.
8:30? The radio doesn't even come on from the track until 9:15.
You'll be here at 8:30 sharp, Albert.
Well, I don't know why I've got to get here so early.
Albert.
All right, Sam, if you say so, I'll be here.
That's the way to talk, Albert. Now, you go on home to Millie and leave me here with my maps, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, good night, Sam.
Good night, Albert. And don't be late, because tomorrow, Albert, is the big day.
Is fair with sunny skies and warm, clear evenings. Stay tuned to this station for the started running of the great Memorial Day Speed Classic.
But where on earth is your pop, Junior?
I don't know, Mom.
Well, I guess this is one day I don't have to worry about where he is. He and Elbert haven't missed the start of the Annapolis race for 15 years.
That's Indianapolis, Mom. Annapolis is the Naval Academy.
You know, I never can remember which is which. I tried last year to remember that the Indians were the ones at the racetrack and the sailors at the other place, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I remember. You called it the Indian race from Annapolis.
Yes, your pop almost exploded.
Like that tin can of his in the garage.
Don't you ever let your father hear you call that car of his a tin can. It's a Stanley steamer, and you know that as well as I do.
It's a tin can, if you ask me. And I could beat it in low gear in my old jalopy. Pop would ever take it out on the road.
We take you now to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Indianapolis, Indiana, for the start of the great Memorial Day Speed Classic, the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Hello there, race fans. This is Sam Pierce, speaking directly from the pagoda overlooking the starting line here at Indianapolis, and it's a beautiful day for a race. There are a few black clouds over the east.
Junior, you better
but it's
call
sunny
your
here,
pop. He'll
and we're
explode
looking
if he
forward to
misses
bringing
the
you another
start.
great
Like his
classic.
tin can?
Junior?
Open the doors, Albert. Open the doors and stand back.
You gonna take her out, Sam?
Just open the doors and see.
Okay, Sam. They'll open, Sam.
Okay. Now stand back, Albert. There she goes.
She's moving, Sam. She's moving.
I know. Now bring that portable radio and follow me out to the street, and I'll stop her there.
Okay, Sam. You did it, Sam. You took her out.
Of course I did, Albert. Now hand me that radio.
Yeah, here you are.
I'll tune her up and see if they've got the track yet.
On the track, running their warm-up lap. The race car is leaving the pits now, and in a very short time, the race will be underway.
They're just about ready to go, Albert.
Yeah, we better get into the house or we'll miss the start.
Albert, we're not going to listen to the start in the house. We're going to listen to the start right here on this portal.
Well, we can hear it better in the house, Sam.
Albert, get up here on the seat with me.
Me? Up there on that seat in that thing?
That's right, Albert. Get here on the seat with me.
I wouldn't drive around the block in that thing, Sam, and you know it.
Albert, you're going with me.
I am not going with you.
You're going with me, or I'll tell Billy that you weren't at the church last night, or the night before, or the night before that. Now get up here on the seat and turn up the radio so we can hear the start.
I don't like this, Sam.
Yeah, you will, Albert.
that you're going to share an historic event with me. You're going to be with me in my Stanley steamer when the starter at the track drops the starting flag in front of those racers back at Indianapolis. And when that flag drops, Elbert, we're going to open the throttle and start with them.
Sam Porter, are you crazy?
And while they're driving around and around for 500 miles, you and I and the steamer will be going up Highway 99 to the town of Gridley.
Sam!
And Gridley, California is exactly 500 miles from where we are right now.
You're going to race this thing 500 miles to Gridley?
We're going to race against those cars back at Indianapolis. And we're going to win, Albert. We're going to get to Gridley before they get to the finish line.
Sam Porter, you're crazy. Sitting up on this steaming monster talking like a crazy man.
Turn up the radio, Albert.
And here they come down the straightaway in front of the main grandstands, ladies and gentlemen, and they're off. The Indianapolis.
Hang on and pump, Albert. Hang on and pump.
Is underway.
We're off to Gridley.
In a moment, we continue with Suspense. Do you know the Social Security benefits to which you will be entitled when you separate from the service and take a civilian job? Here's a tip from Social Security.
There are 4 times for action. First, when you go on a job covered by Social Security, you need a Social Security card. The account number shown on the card is used to keep a record of your earnings. Second, if a worker in your family dies and his work was covered by Social Security, some member of the family should ask about survivor's benefits at the nearest Social Security office. Third, if you are disabled before you reach 65 and have worked under Social Security, get in touch with the Social Security office. You and your dependents may be eligible for monthly checks. And finally, 2 or 3 months before you reach retirement age, get in touch with the Social Security office. If you want to keep working, fine. But get the facts about Social Security anyway. You may still be able to get benefit payments.
And now, we continue with The Big Day, starring Mr. John McIntyre. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
We're in the 10th lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen, and now here are the standings. In first place, car number 31, Johnny Gallant. In second, in car number 26, George O'Hara.
How fast we going, Albert?
I can't see the speedometer, Sam. Too much steam.
Well, wipe off your goggles and bend down closer. I want to know how fast we're going.
Troy Ruttman. In sixth.
I think the speedometer is busted, Sam. It says 95.
That's not busted, Albert. We're probably going 95. Now get on that pump, Albert, and let's see if we can't get up a real head of steam.
So far, it's been a wonderful race, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to mar the thrill of watching these
I can't
cars
understand.
hurtle around
15 years, he never misses a start, and now, all of a sudden, he disappears.
I called him, Mom, but he didn't answer.
Well, maybe he didn't hear you. Go on out the garage and get him.
Okay, Mom.
And if all goes well...
We interrupt the Indianapolis race for a moment to bring you a special announcement from the California Highway Patrol.
This is Officer Hanson of the Highway Patrol speaking. We have just received a report that an unidentified object has been seen traveling north on Highway 99 at very high speed. We have no description other than the following. The object is bright red and seems to be emitting clouds of some vapor, perhaps steam.
Oh, no.
It was last seen heading north on Highway 99 in the vicinity of Caswell and was traveling at great speed.
Oh.
A sheriff's car that gave chase lost it and called in this report. Motorists are warned to be on the lookout and to give this object the right-of-way if they see it. All police and sheriff's cars are on the alert and will bring you further reports as we receive them.
Oh, dear me, no.
Now to the Indianapolis
Junior!
Speedway.
Junior!
Pop's not in the garage, Mom, and you know what?
I'm afraid I do,
Steamer
son.
isn't there either.
Junior, I know where your father is. He's out on the highway in that...
tin can?
Tin can, and he's trying to kill himself. Get me the phone, Junior. I've got to let them know.
Police Department, Sergeant Walsh speaking. Yes? Yes? Now, wait a minute. Let me get this straight here. You say you know what the bright red object is. Now, what bright red object? The one that's out on Highway 99. The one that's going so fast. Oh, that one. Well, why didn't you say so? Now, hold on a minute. I want to get this down. Charlie, get the radio open and stand by for an all-points bulletin. There's a lady on the phone says she knows what that crazy thing is on 99. Okay, lady. Now you tell me just what it is. That's right. A what? A Stanley steamer?
Where are we now, Albert?
I think we're coming up to Bakersfield. It's hard to follow the map with the steam and the wind.
Bakersfield, that's over 100 miles from L.A. Turn up the radio, Albert. We'll see how far they've gone at Indianapolis.
And these cars are performing like the beautiful things they are. So far, we haven't lost a car. We've completed a little over 100 laps, 250 miles.
Somebody's crazy.
Well, it isn't him, Sam.
Now, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, at the halfway mark, we always give the standings to the cars and their drivers. So now let's just take it. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. The yellow warning lights are on, and that means we've got a car in trouble somewhere. I can't see too well, but I think it's... Yes, there it is. Down at the far end of the grandstand straightaway, there's a car against the retaining wall.
It's a wreck, Sam.
Shut up and pump.
Yeah, I can see the driver, ladies and gentlemen. He's out of the car now, and he's waving that he's all right. Yes, he's okay, ladies and gentlemen, but that car is in a bad place there. They'll have to keep this race running under the caution flag until they can clear it away. Of course, that means the cars will have to slow way down, and this will reduce the race average, but, well, that's the breaks of the game.
Come on, Albert. That's a break for us. Pump up some more steam there, and we'll make up some time on it.
Sam, this has gone far enough. Now, you got through that last town all right, although I think you scared them all half to death. But this next town is Merced, and it's a big one. Now, they've got signals set for 30 miles an hour right through the main street. You can't go through Merced at 95 miles an hour.
I figured on those signals, Albert. We won't go through town at 95.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Signal set for 30. 3 times 30 is 90. We'll go through town at 90. Flicker the whistle.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Now get on that pump, Albert, and pump. We can't afford to lose any steam pressure at this point. We've got an average to hold.
This is a special bulletin from the State Highway Patrol. The unidentified object that has been reported at various positions from Los Angeles all the way north to Merced has been identified as a bright red Stanley steamer. Police in Fresno were eluded when a roadblock they set up was bypassed unexpectedly. However, the California Highway Patrol are now setting an impassable block on Highway 99 south of Stockton, and it's expected that the fugitives will be apprehended any minute. Meanwhile, motorists using this stretch of road are urged to proceed with caution. This has been a special bulletin.
She's really rolling now that we got that fresh tank of water.
She is that, Sam.
It took us a little out of our way, taking that alternate road up into the hills back of Stockton. But I figured we'd find a water tank back there easier than in the city.
And that farmer was real nice, too. You going back into Stockton now, Sam?
Nope. Figured away on the map while we was stopped up there that takes us right around her. Figured it won't take much longer, and we can miss the traffic in the city.
You're pretty smart, Sam.
You gotta be smart to race a steamer, Albert. Turn up the radio, see how they're doing at Indianapolis.
Batteries are getting awful weak, but I'll try.
And now that the yellow lights are off, the cars are picking up their speed, and the race is really a race again. You know, this is the longest period of time that the cars have ever had to run under the caution lights, due, of course, to the unfortunate fact that a second car ran into the truck that was clearing the wreckage of the first car, and it's taken them a long, long time to get the remains off the track. But no one was hurt, and so we're off again at Indianapolis.
Turn it off, Albert. We have to save the batteries.
There's not much left of them now.
You know something, Albert?
What?
I'm kind of glad those races are running on the green flag again. I didn't feel right having the advantage over them all that time.
Sam, you're crazy. You are plain crazy. But you know, I'm beginning to like this.
This is the State Highway Patrol speaking. We have a new report on the runaway Stanley steamer. For a while, it was thought to have mysteriously disappeared when officers waiting at a roadblock at Stockton reported it failed to show up. But just a short time ago, it was again reported on Highway 99 on the outskirts of Sacramento heading north. A block has been hastily erected at the town of Woodland, which is the next town along the route of the steamer. We'll have a further report as soon as we hear from the Woodland police.
How come you cut off 99 onto alternate 40, Sam?
Because alternate 40 goes to Gridley and 99 doesn't.
You really mapped this thing out, huh?
Albert, I've heard a lot of derogatory things said about myself from this wonderful steamer of mine. But it's never bothered me. You know why?
Because you're smart, Sam?
Because I knew that one of these days a big day would come along and I'd make all those people who said all those things laugh out of the other corner of their mouths. You know what, Albert?
What, Sam?
That day is here. When we get into Gridley, I'll have proven that what I always said was true. Turn up the radio. See how far they gotten back in Indianapolis.
Okay. Yeah, it won't turn on. Least while, I can't get any noise out of it.
Batteries must have gone. Doggone it. Now we won't know how we made out till we get into Gridley.
How much longer you figure it'll take us, Sam? I'm getting awful tired.
Not too long now, Albert. Maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. Won't get there at all, though.
I know, Sam. Hang on and pop. She seems to be slowing down, Sam.
I am slowing her down, Albert. If I'm not mistaken, we should be getting into Gridley right over the top of this hill.
You mean it, Sam? You mean we're really there? We made it?
I think so, Albert. We'll know in a minute. Sure wish the radio was working so we could know how we did.
Well, there'll be somebody in Gridley with a radio. We can ask them.
Yeah. Hey, Albert, look there. Right down there at the foot of the hill.
It's a town, all right, Sam.
It's Gridley, Albert. Gridley in the finish line for us.
Hey, looks like they're having a celebration or something.
No, the car's all right.
Maybe they've heard about it.
No, most likely a picnic or a parade.
Are you going to cross the finish line like they do back at Indianapolis?
Albert, that's a great idea. We'll give them something to talk about for a long time to come. Get a hold of that pump, Albert.
I'm pumped. I know, Sam. I know. Look, they're getting out of the cars into the street.
There's something funny, Albert. They've got cars parked there across the street.
And they're holding up their hands.
Well, I guess there's nothing to do but stop. Don't want to bust up my steamer after she run all this way.
Anyway, we got to Gridley.
All right.
All right, you two. Now just stay where you are. Don't make no fast moves. Sam, this cop doesn't sound very friendly.
That gun he's waving doesn't look very friendly either.
Now, I want you both to get down out of that
Steamer, Stanley steamer.
Well, that thing. And just stand over there quiet.
I better do as he says, Albert.
Yeah. Come on.
Albert.
Yes, Sam?
I can't get my hands loose to the steering wheel. They're stuck.
Oh, his hands are stuck to the wheel, officer.
Well, get him unstuck and climb down out of there. You're both under arrest.
For what?
If I took the time to tell you now, we'd be here all night. Now get down.
Oh, I almost forgot to ask. Sir, is this Gridley?
No, this is not Gridley. This is Live Oaks. Gridley's about 10 miles further up the road.
Oh, no, Albert, we lost. We came all this way so far, so fast, and we still didn't complete the 500 miles.
Gosh.
Say, you got a radio in your car, officer?
Of course I got a radio.
Can you get the station they have the Indianapolis races on? See how they finished?
They didn't.
Hey, what?
Them racers back at Indianapolis, they didn't finish. They stopped the race 5 minutes ago. Supposed to drive 500 miles, but they got rained out. They had to stop at 475.
Albert, you hear that, Albert? We beat them. We went 490 miles and they stopped at 475. I told you the Stanley steamer was the fastest car on four wheels.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. If you don't mind, I'll ask you to get into my car and we'll take a slower ride back to police headquarters.
Oh, sure, officer. And you know something, Sam?
What, Albert?
At least in his car, I won't have to hang on and pump.
Suspense. In which Mr. John McIntyre starred in The Big Day, written by Sam Pierce and produced and directed by William N. Robeson. Supporting Mr. McIntyre in The Big Day were Jeanette Nolan, Joe DeSantis, William Keneally, Henry Blair, Sam Pierce, and Dawes Butler. Listen. Listen again next week when we return with another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
has been brought to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, the master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robeson.
Paris, city of light, city of gaiety, city of scintillating women, sparkling wine, and the finest food in the world. But this has not always been so. Just a few years ago, Paris was a city of darkness and despair and hunger, where men turned to strange and sinister activities just to keep alive. This was the Paris of the Nazi occupation, a hopeless city, which Marcel Aimé has caught in his strangely disturbing story, Crossing Paris, a tale of cupidity and retribution. Listen then to Mr. Hans Conried starring in Crossing Paris, which begins in exactly 1 minute.
Smoke Kent, smoke Kent, smoke Kent with the micronite filter. It is the mild cigarette that's got the freshest, cleanest taste yet. It is the mild Kent cigarette, smoke Kent with the micronite filter. It is the mild cigarette that's got the freshest, cleanest taste yet. It is the mild Kent cigarette, smoke Kent, smoke Kent, smoke Kent with the micronite filter.
And now, Mr. Hans Conried in Crossing Paris. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
If you had been in Paris during the Nazi occupation, you would have seen a lot of interesting things. You might even have caught a glimpse of me stealing through the streets at night as inconspicuously as possible for a man carrying a heavily loaded valise in each hand. These valises were lined inside with canvas to prevent the leakage of any telltale drops of blood. And they belonged to my employer, Monsieur Jamblier, in whose cellar the original butchering was accomplished. My job was hard, but it paid well for the risks I took. Quite often I worked with an assistant carrier, usually Le Tambeau. Well, one winter afternoon, I set out to meet Le Tambeau at the Café Voltaire on the Boulevard de la Bastille. It was bitterly cold, and the trees were bright with frost. It promised to be a miserable night for us. A keen north wind was blowing over the canal towards the Seine, and the day seemed dying of cold. It was nearly dark when I reached the Café Voltaire.
Ah, Pierre, what will it be? You look cold enough for a brandy.
That I am.
Here, this will warm your bones. Your friend Le Tambeau is in. He said to tell you he is not free tonight.
Oh, curse him. How can he behave like that? He has no respect for his work.
Respect for what work? Who's this Le Tambeau? Respect for what
Oh,
work?
please, monsieur.
Oh,
I'm talking to the bartender. It's no affair of yours.
It's my affair, all right. I'm standing here drinking, and you come in and curse people and talk about respect. I'll teach you respect.
Oh, the fellow was drunk. He put his glass down and staggered up to me, fist raised. At that same moment, a huge man calmly stepped around from behind me, caught the drunk's chin in his big hand, and pushed him back with a powerful thrust.
I get it now. The police always travel in pairs.
Now, we are not the police, you idiot, but I promise you some police if you don't shut up.
See, I told her, look at the brute. He has police written all over him, and I was an honest...
Well, then, let's go, my lad. Pay for our drinks now, and we'll report to the station for duty. Pay up and let's be off.
I don't know why, but I paid. And then, still laughing, the big one took me by the arm and we started out. He was a rough fellow, probably a laborer, but certainly not of the police, dressed as he was in a spotted, shiny suit and a dark turtleneck sweater. His small, pig-like eyes were bright with irony, and the tight blonde curls that ringed his huge head gave him the appearance of a great ram. When we reached the street, the night was already black with high, icy winds.
That was a squalid scene.
Oh, well, the man was drunk. But I could have handled him. I carry a knife, you know. You did not have to interfere.
Oh, no, I enjoyed it.
Well, anyway, you probably saved him from being cut up.
Oh, but I didn't realize that you were going to cut him. My apologies, monsieur.
You're a bloodthirsty brute. I bet your wife wears a black eye to Mass every Sunday.
No, wife. The big thing in times like this is to eat. With me, my stomach comes first, love afterward.
I see. And what do you do? What is your trade?
I am a painter.
Oh, you must find it difficult these days. There's so little building going on.
I manage in a small way.
Look here, you're a strong fellow, and if you're not afraid of a little risk, I can give you a job tonight as my assistant. It pays well, too.
How much?
Say, 400 francs.
You're on.
Don't you even want to know what it is?
Well, you're probably an assassin.
Of course not. Above all, I'm a man of honor.
What difference does it make?
All right, then. Let's turn off here. First, we must go to the Rue Poliveau. Our work starts there.
Well, let's walk faster. I'm cool.
Who is it? I, Pierre.
Who's the other one?
Le Tambeau ducked out on me tonight. So I've asked my friend Grangil here to take his place. He's all right.
Hurry then. You're late.
We followed Monsieur Jamblier across the cellar to a thick table where stained white cloths covered a shapeless form. He proudly removed the shroud, revealing a whole hog which had been neatly cut into a dozen portions. Then he stood back and allowed us to feast our eyes.
He's a beauty, no?
Whew. How much does he weigh?
200 pounds. But divided into 4 valises, you'll manage him all right.
It's easy to see you've never carried 100 pounds of black market pig about Paris.
You're wasting time. Hand me a valise under the table there.
Where does it go tonight?
To Montmartre. Butcher shop in the Rue Goulincourt, number 43. And one thing now. To arrange his deliveries, he must have the meat there by 2 a.m. If you are late, he will not accept it.
But, Montmartre?
It's no distance for a young man like you.
How much are you giving us?
Now, Pierre, bargain's a bargain. We are all men of honor in this affair.
No one has ever questioned my honor, monsieur. And I deliver your meat on this side of the Seine for 400 francs. But, Montmartre, that's a different matter.
Oh, I see what you're up to. You know perfectly well I can't risk keeping the pig here and that it's too late to get anyone else to carry it.
Lugging 200 pounds of black market meat all the way across Paris in the dead of the night with the police lying in wait for us at every turn along the way. You call that profiteering?
All right, then. All right. You get 50 francs more.
I want respectable pay for my work, not just a tip.
500, then. But not a sou more.
It is hard work. It involves great risk. 600 francs.
Tell me, Monsieur Chamblier, is this really number 45?
What? Why do you ask that?
Oh, for no reason at all. Because I know the answer. Monsieur Chamblier, 45, oui, pourriez-vous?
Who is this man, Pierre?
Frangile, you will do me the courtesy of keeping your mouth shut. I do the talking here. You agree then, sir, to 600 francs?
Monsieur Chamblier, 45, oui, pourriez-vous? My share will be 1,000 francs.
What? Are you mad?
Oh, don't pay any attention to him. He's my assistant. So you just give me the 2 times 600 francs. I'll settle with him later.
All right, then. Here, take it. I can't have you here all night.
Monsieur Chamblier, 45, oui, pourriez-vous? Give me 2,000 francs, or I shall wreck this place.
Jamblier looked at him fearfully for a moment. Then he pulled a fat billfold from his pocket and handed 2 notes of 1,000 francs each to the ram, who pocketed them calmly and caught a third one on the fly when Jamblier, in his nervousness, let it slip. It was too much for me. I started to Gangil to make him return the money, but Jamblier seized me by the arm.
Let him alone. I can't afford a row
I
here.
don't want a row, but after all, he's my assistant.
And this is my cellar. I've paid out enough money to have peace here at least. You can settle it with him later. Right now we've got to finish packing the valises. It's late.
We went back to the table and finished fitting the sections of pork into the valises, wedging them in with crumpled newspapers. Grangil paid no attention to us, but sat across the cellar on a wine barrel, eating a thick slice of ham he'd found. When we were packed, however, he got up without a word and came over to pick up his 2 valises. This apparent willingness seemed to impress Jamblier, and when we reached the door, he stuck a pack of cigarettes into the ram's pocket.
That's for the 2 of you, for the trick.
Cigarettes at night? It's a fine way to get ourselves picked up.
Oh, come now, Pierre. Don't worry so.
I have to have 2,000 francs more.
No. Not a sou. Not a single sou.
Give me 2,000 francs, for heaven's sake, Chamblier! Chamblier! 2,000 francs, Chamblier!
Be stupid, you'll have the police on us.
Here, you blackmailer. Here, take them, but shut up. In the name of Mary, shut up. Here, you devil.
Open the door. Let us get out of here. I'll settle with you later, my fine friend.
Chamblier! Oh! Chamblier! I now have to have another 2,000.
Quiet, I tell you. Stop it. No, don't you dare pull anything like that again. What's the matter with you anyway? Do you want to go to jail? I'm warning you now. If you
Stop chirping at me, or I'll pinch your head off and let you bleed.
Well, I don't want any trouble, but after all, I've given you a job. This is my work. You should have some respect for it.
Oh, that's for your job. Where do we cross the river?
We have to go up to the Ile Saint-Louis, too near the railway station down here. Too many police patrols and German soldiers around.
Let's hurry, then. My hands are turning to stone.
As we passed by the wine market, deserted and desolate in the night, the wind seemed to blow with less violence, but colder. Our faces were gnawed and burned by it. The oily water in the Seine was black as coal, and along the banks the bare trees stood bleak and spectral. Finally, we reached the Ile Saint-Louis, and with a cord, turned into the first side street for a moment's respite from the paralyzing north wind.
It's a wonder the air doesn't freeze. Why in the name of heaven do you work at this job?
I make my living this way. Every man to his trade.
Now tell me, how much can you get for pork in the black market, huh?
Forget it.
What, 75 francs a pound?
Forget it, I tell you.
In that cafe where they thought we were police? I'm sure we could sell Chamblier's pig at 75 francs a pound. That would give us 30,000 francs. 15,000 apiece of easy money to... Instead of killing ourselves in this wind...
You think if I want to do that, I'd have brought you along? No. And if I were to decide to do it now, I'd begin by getting rid of you.
What makes you think you...
Be quiet. Listen. A patrol. Back here in the shadows. Quick.
In a moment, we continue with Suspense.
Jack Benny acquires a girls' baseball team, and R. Miss Brooks acquires headaches from the school board on CBS Radio this evening. And if that isn't enough, Mitch Miller has Jack Webb hiding under his beard. Yes, there's great listening ahead on CBS Radio, so keep your dial right where it is. Suddenly aware of the fact that his rivals, Bob Hope and Bing Crosby, are part owners of baseball teams, Jack Benny will be out to acquire one for himself, and the answer will be the Buxom Bloomer Girls. For another key to laughter, join Eve Arden as our Miss Brooks, as she tries to open Madison High in time to receive an award for good attendance. The key here is the one she loves in a series of mishaps that prevent the opening of the school. Too late to help her find the key, but in time to help Mitch Miller present one of his greatest shows, Jack Webb will be here on most of these same stations, along with producer Otto Preminger and comedian Phil Foster. Remember, they're all on CBS Radio later today. Jack Benny, Eve Arden, and Mitch Miller with his guests, Jack Webb, Otto Preminger, and comedian Phil Foster.
And now, we continue with Crossing Paris, starring Mr. Hans Conried. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
We froze against the doorway, and the patrol passed without seeing us. Ahead of us were still 2 solid hours of terror crossing Paris. The moon was still hidden, but the night had grown lighter and consequently more dangerous for us. After a block or two, I suddenly sensed that Gangil was no longer behind me, and turning, I saw him halfway across the street, headed toward a line of blue light that framed the doorway of a cafe.
I'm going to get a shot of liquor.
Come back here, you fool! You can't carry that stuff in there!
I won't be long.
He was already opening the door, pushing his valises past the blackout curtain which masked the lighted interior. Cursing, not telling what he was up to now. But in any event, I couldn't leave him there with Jamblier's pork, and I didn't dare stand around in the street waiting for him, so I crossed over and followed him inside. Several men who looked like clerks were playing cards at a table, and the floor was covered with sawdust and the lights were dingy. The proprietor's wife sat knitting a sock behind the cash register and looking suspiciously at Gangil, who was already standing at the bar, one foot resting on his valises.
2 cognacs, patron.
This is my closing time.
Cognac.
What is all that luggage? You're not running into my place with the police at your heels, are you?
Give us some cognac.
No. Do not cause a row. With me, these rows...
Cognac, patron, Rémy, Martin.
Shut up, Gangil, shut up, I tell you.
If you quiet down, I will get it for you.
Thank you, monsieur.
The proprietor searched for a bottle of Rémy Martin, and Gangil turned and stared at the 4 clerks who had stopped their card game. They were obviously avoiding so much as a glance in our direction.
All right. You. There are 4 of you sitting there. You're half-starved on rotten carrots and sawdust pudding. You're smoking corn silk. All of you. And there's enough good, fat pork in these valises to make you rich. Huh? What's to keep you from making off with it? You know well enough we're in no position to report it.
In the name of heaven, Grandgil, come to your senses.
Get out of here, you filthy paupers. Get out and howl against the black market. Rabble! Scum! What good does it do to make laws if they're not respected? Blackguards! Anarchists! Disloyal Frenchmen!
Stop it, Grandgil. Have you lost your mind? Perhaps you don't care what happens to you, but I care what happens to me.
You don't say so, eh? You there, patron. I can't wait all night. Give us some cognac. Give us some cognac, I said.
Here is your cognac. But please, no more. It is past closing time already.
Here. Here's to you, little Pierre. You who are as timid as a girl, but whose charm I cannot resist. Your valises full of pork that these cowards refuse to take, I will carry as far as Le Havre, on foot, on my knees, for you.
And then, without warning, the ram reached out, seized the cognac bottle, and heaved it with all his strength against the mirror behind the bar.
Excellent. Now, my valises. Come, little Pierre. I never wish to see these wretched people again. Baboons, I ignore you. I erase you from my memory forever.
I followed him out, wondering how in the world I could keep this monstrous madman from getting us picked up by the police. The moon had come out now, and the center of the street looked like an arrow of brightness, while the shadows along the sidewalk offered dangerous possibilities of surprise. At the first street crossing, the black shadow in which we were walking was broken by a streak of moonlight. We just reached the opposite curve when, from the dark only 3 yards in front of us, a man's voice rang out.
Stand where you are. No tricks now. What are you carrying in those valises?
Before taking that tone, you do well to identify yourself.
It's the police. You saw me well enough.
Oh, the police? Well, I'm certainly glad we ran into you. I've been looking for somebody to show us how to get to the Rue Sévigné.
You're going away from it, and I think that
You don't tell me. Did you hear that, my friend? The Rue Sévigné is behind us. Well, then we just have to turn back.
Later, perhaps. Right now, you're going with me to the station.
May we rest a moment first? We've walked a long way looking for the Rue Sévigné. Perhaps I can explain.
No need for that. Come along now. Come on.
There was nothing he could do if I put my valises down anyway, in spite of him. So I did, thinking he would give me a chance to talk him out of this. And the ram, bending his knees slightly, put his down also, and then, suddenly straightening up, smashed the policeman's jaw with his fist. The poor man doubled to his knees, fell flat without making a sound. Grandgil bent over him for a moment and then grabbed his hat and threw him into the middle of the street. The visor shone there in the moonlight.
Well, let's go.
Well, that was clever. As soon as he comes to, he'll grab his whistle. In 5 minutes, all the police in the arrondissement will be after us.
That would surprise me. I have his whistle in my pocket.
Air raid alert. Now what will we do? We don't dare go into a shelter with his meat, and we certainly can't stay in the streets.
I live only 2 blocks from here. Come on. Come.
In spite of carrying 100 pounds apiece of that cursed pig, we ran all the way. But at last, with bursting lungs, we made it. I stopped a moment inside the door to catch my breath before climbing to the top floor where he said he lived. The ram went on ahead, and the door was open when I finally arrived.
Come in. I'll have a fire going in the stove in a moment.
It was a large, comfortable studio. In the bluish light that filtered in from the street, I could see a huge mirror covered with gauze, hanging directly opposite the entrance, over a baby carriage filled with what appeared to be framed paintings. I set down my valises near the door and stood there until Grandgil drew a blackout curtain over the window and turned on the light. There were several easels in the room, and on a table near the window were spread out a number of drawings and paintings.
Surprise?
You're a painter?
Yes. I said I was.
You did all those?
I sell most of them around Montmartre. But since the German occupation, musically enough, not always for money. I barter. Well, only last week, for a picture of a woman wearing nothing but high-heeled shoes and an opera hat, I got a ham. But here's one I've been commissioned for that'll bring 100,000 francs. You like it?
No.
Because it's the portrait of a Nazi?
Perhaps. And because it's no good.
You're still angry with me, aren't you?
Oh, I don't know what to think of you.
Think what you like, then. I'm going to eat something.
The stove had commenced to glow, so I sat down in a big, easy chair next to it and soon became drowsy in its pleasant warmth. And then suddenly a bell went off and woke me out of a sound sleep.
Jean-Michel speaking. Ah, Suzy. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Pierre Martin, Huh? No, you don't know him. Well, Pierre Martin is a little gutter snipe who works in the black market. He gave me a job, the poor idiot. Oh, I had great fun. Wore dirty clothes, played the role of a tough, a Satanist, a thief. No. It was very easy. After all, it's the weak ones who act tough. Very amusing, I assure you. Huh? No, I'm still an amateur.
So that's it.
I'm telling you about it all. It will amuse you.
Mocking me, making fun of my work, laughing to himself all the while. I'll show him.
Pierre, such temper, little one.
You dog! And I thought you were hard up. I want to help you. And you, the gentleman, treating himself to a taste of what I suppose you call the underworld, like a stinking tourist.
Is there a reward out for you, Pierre?
It's stealing, that's what it is. You should have left the work to a man who needed it. You have no honor, no respect for work, you filthy rat!
Oh, but I have. Come over here. Look, I drew a portrait of you while you slept.
Huh?
Perhaps you will like this picture.
I don't even want to look at it. What do you think I am? Me, I earn my keep, I work hard. You and your Nazi under 1,000 franc commission, you've done everything to make trouble for me. My work is amusing, eh? Well, I'll show you what I think of you.
Here, what are you up to?
I ran across the room to the easel that held the portrait of the Nazi, plunged my knife into the top, and ripped down. I was about to slash it across the middle when Grangil, whose body smashed into me and fell to the floor. He had me by the throat and was slowly choking the life out with his thick fingers. I began to beat on the floor in agony with my open hand when suddenly I stalked the knife with one hand and seized it. My eyes were turning back in my head as I slashed out at his wrists. He let out a howl and sat back, watching the blood drip from one hand. I was too weak to move, so I lay there, holding my knife over my chest, pointing it at him. Suddenly, his eyes went white with insane rage, and before I could move, he threw himself on top of me again. And rolled over with a faint moan. My knife had been driven straight into his heart. His legs twitched a little, and then he lay still. I looked at him unbelievingly. I'd never killed. I'd never wanted to kill any man. Then I covered my face with my hands and I wept. 2 hours later, faint with exhaustion, I delivered all 4 valises to the butcher shop in Montmartre.
All right, I waited. It is all there.
Of course it is. I'm a man of honor, monsieur.
I can see that. And you made it on time, too. But did you not have an assistant? I understood from Jamblier.
Oh, it seems that my assistant, monsieur, did not really need the work. I was forced to dismiss him.
Well, anyway, you made it.
I always finish any job I start, monsieur. It was only then that I remembered that Grangil had said my name to his girl over the phone, and that my portrait sat waiting for the police in his studio. I put the 5,000 francs, which I'd taken from his body, into an envelope I borrowed from the butcher and addressed it to Jamblier. I dropped it into a mailbox and then walked slowly down to the big market of Les Halles. It was almost dawn when I reached it, and the heavily loaded pushcarts were stacked up in the side streets, smelling of green vegetables and berries. The gutters were slippery with garbage, and a lonely woman in pink satin pumps was staggering wearily through the filth at the end of an all-night souse. I sat down on a curb, and I watched her, and said to myself, believe me, we none of us do what we wish to do.
Suspense, in which Hans Conried starred in Crossing Paris, adapted by John Meston from the story by Marcel Aimé, and produced and directed by William N. Robeson. Listen. Listen again next week when we return with Mr. Vincent Price in The Green and Gold String, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Supporting Mr. Conried in Crossing Paris were John Daner, Joe DeSantis, Ted DeCorsia, and Paul Dubois.